Alright, so I'm going to nip this one in the bud as quickly as I can. So basically within the last, I don't know, 15 hours maybe, it's probably been a little longer than that, it's just really blown up in the last 3 or 4 hours. Basically, there's a girl who's had photos of her posted up on the internet, and normally that'll go on as anyone up, but obviously the legal age over there is 18. If you have anything under that, it's child porn. And to be honest, looking at this girl, you would think she might be maybe, you know, barely legal as it is. And I've got to be honest, what struck me about this was the ferocity of people's abuse. I mean, when I commented on it, surprised, obviously, initially at what people were saying, it was, I don't know, 315 comments. Within 20 minutes, it burst to 7,000 people. I mean, can you imagine 7,000 people were shouting abuse at this girl? You had, on one end of the spectrum, you had these illiterate boys and girls who must be about 14, 15, passing the time and just thinking it's hilarious. You had in the middle ground, you had these girls who have probably done the same things this girl has done. They've probably taken a photo of themselves and sent it to guys. The difference is they've not been caught, so they're reveling in that, and you know they think it's brilliant. So they're basically slandering this girl and going, "Oh, you're a slut, you're disgusting." And then on the far end of the spectrum, we got the perverted guys who are basically my age, about 20 years old, maybe a little bit younger, and they're basically saying, "Oh, I'd smash that, I'd fuck her." And it's just like, well, either they're retarded or they do not know that that girl is barely legal, if that. I mean, those photos themselves are going to cause a shitstorm because that girl does not look older than 16. But the thing is that then they created the the Facebook groups like the awkward moment when so and so and the girl Sharon O'Neill. And it's awkward moment Sharon O'Neill has polka on her. I don't know, some really stupid stuff. And within an hour, that got up to 10,000 people. I mean, I can't even imagine a group of people in person, criticizing me. I mean, it happened when I was in school. You got picked on and whatnot. But that's bad enough. But can you imagine that number? That's more than, I don't know, that's more than what Manchester Academy can hold for in a Day to Remember gig. That's an insane amount of people telling that girl she needs to die, that she's a slut, that she's fat, that she's ugly. I mean, how can you justify that? I mean, do you have any idea what that does to a person? Like, I mean, let's just take away for a second. Let's just say she did put it up. Let's take that away for a second. She put up a blurry photo of her in a bra. This is the first photo that started all. A blurry photo of her standing sideways in a bra. Now, how exactly is that bad enough to warrant 7,000 negative comments or abusive comments? I want someone to actually explain to me how one single photo that started this off by a jealous ex-boyfriend or by some pervert or whatever, or even if she put up, how on earth does that in any sense of in any ethical kind of environment, how do you explain that to people, that you have 7,000 comments, not by 7,000 people, but near enough that amount of people, thousands of people, some people defending her, some good people defending her, but the majority of them are just abusing her. I mean, even if she put that up to get attention, that doesn't warrant that kind of abuse. I mean, I came across a comment saying, you need to die. I mean, seriously? For posting a photo of her in, topless, or there was a couple of others, of her in her bra and underwear? I mean, really? The thing is, this is a double standard, because this is coming from a generation of kids that drink underage and get high. I mean, some of these people were older than 18, and, they've got photos of themselves face down in a pool of their own vomit with their friends laughing around them. And these are the people that are going to tell this younger girl that she needs to die, she's a slag and whatnot. I mean, put that back in the equation now, that she has taken that photo, regardless of whether she has or not. If you think about it, say she put that up, and yeah, she might have been posting for attention, or she's, whatever, anything like that. Think about the impact that's going to make on someone, because I don't care how strong you are, how little of a shit you give about people. If you're a normal teenager, it doesn't matter how strong you think you are. You're not a celebrity or a musician or an actor that's hardened to that kind of thing. You're just a normal person with a normal life. You never would have encountered that kind of negativity before. Think about the power that's going to have on that person, the sheer strength and volume that's going to leave on that person. They could become bulimic, they could become anorexic, they could become depressed, they could start self-harming, they could turn to drugs, they could just kill themselves. And the sad thing about this is that a lot of the people who are commenting probably wouldn't care. And the thing is, I troll. I mean, I'm going to be open about it. I troll, I think it's funny, but God, I would never do that to a human being. I mean, that's a life you're fucking with, basically. That's someone who could die tomorrow, and a lot of the people would not care. They would just be like, oh, unlucky, she shouldn't have taken the photo then. Yeah, because that's obviously a legitimate argument, because we should all just stop taking photos of ourselves like that permanently. Because that's obviously the way the world works. I mean, you know, if you care about someone and, you know, you want to send them something that they'd enjoy, and fair enough. I mean, if they break that trust, that sucks, you know? It's part of experience. I mean, it really, really sucks. It's part of life experience, though, that, you know, you live and you learn. But it's unfortunate this person had the connections necessary to make this such a nationwide or Facebook-wide humiliation spectacle, basically. And I know I'm not good with my words. I'm tripping over my own words and, you know, linking them together badly. But my point remains valid. Do you guys have any idea of the impact you're making on this person? They could die tomorrow. I mean, they could legitimately die tomorrow, and in the papers it would say that you're all to blame. And I wonder how many of you would actually care. At the same time, I wonder how many of you would suddenly unlike the page. My friend said on his Facebook status, I wonder how many of you will unlike the status if she this page if she dies tomorrow, and tell everyone else that was too harsh. It's like you guys have a double standard. Like, oh, we'll make fun of her until she wants to kill herself, but when she kills herself, that's too far. I mean, cyberbullying has always been a massive problem. I mean, you go on any comment board on the internet, you go on MMA.com, you go on, you go on BJPen.com on the MMA forums, you go on Tumblr, you go on Formspring. It's everywhere. People are like this everywhere. On YouTube particularly, you'll just have nothing but comments, people going, oh, shut up, fag, go and kill yourself, you don't understand music. And it's just like, that's fair enough, you know, that happens everywhere. But when you have this much of an onslaught against one girl for a series of provocative photos she took, which are no worse than a bikini photo, and you guys are basically making her, if she sees these, I mean, even if she doesn't see these, but you're making her feel like she's worthless. I mean, it's not just the fact of what you're saying, it's the impact they're going to have on that, in the sense that she's probably going to get death threats, she's probably going to get abused, like, she's probably going to get abused emotionally, like, she's going to get verbal abuse, she's going to get beaten up. I mean, that girl's still at school. I mean, how is she going to go out in her hometown? If she works with children or she has any kind of job, she's going to lose that job because it's bad business. Her family might disown. I mean, you've basically just opened a shitstorm on this, because you've been, by commenting on it, liking it, spreading it around, it's now gotten to, I don't know, something like 20,000 people, probably more, because it's now on Tumblr, Twitter, and it's gone on 3 separate profiles. I mean, you know, I don't understand how you can do this. And you know, if you're the guy who put this up, believe me when I say that the fact you're drawing this much attention to it, you are going to get in a shitload of trouble, man. I mean, you probably are only like a 16-year-old kid yourself, but the police will probably get involved, and you probably will have a shitstorm coming your way. And even if you don't, I mean, whether or not you get in trouble with the law, I mean, you're going to have to live with the fact you've just ruined a life. I mean, this girl's life is going to be completely scarred by this. Whether or not, you know, she kills herself, whether or not it causes any kind of PTSD or anything like that, you've scarred the part of this girl's life now, because she's going to have to live with the fact that 20,000 people or something like that have seen her in her bra and underwear and have basically let her know what they think of her in the most graphic terms possible. And the human race is better than that, and it's really upsetting to see it go to that kind of extreme. And a lot of people are saying, oh, unlucky, she shouldn't have taken a photo. Well, no, she shouldn't have. But at the same time, she didn't deserve that many abusive comments. And this probably isn't going to be seen by many people, and I'm tripping over my own words, and I'm linking words together that don't make sense. But at the end of the day, I'm just voicing the concern of many other people who've seen this, and that is, this is unacceptable. I mean, human beings should not be this cruel to one another. I know it's because you're behind a computer screen, and you're a keyboard warrior, and you think that you're unstoppable, but all of you have made these kind of mistakes before. The difference is you've not been called up on them. And I guarantee that if you were in this girl's position and you were having this much abuse held at you, you would probably want to end it. You know, you would want to end it by any means necessary. You would not want to do that to another person if that was going on with you. But the thing is, we're so desensitized nowadays from the media that we're all sociopaths, therefore we don't really care. And that's just sad. So I just hope that some of you who watch this will at least realize the impact you're making, and you probably are scarring a person for life, but you could end up making that person take their life. So just kind of think before you type, guys.